players, obviously very happy for our seniors. They've led us to this point where we're at, and to have the kind of success that we've had this year, I think number one, speaks to their leadership. Number two, it speaks to the attitude that they approach the entire season with, and it goes all the way back to last January when we got back from our bowl game, and we had some things that we identified that we needed to correct and fix. And the catalyst to those corrections were our seniors, and we're very, very thankful for what they've done. And they've invested greatly. David Wabusi gave a very appropriate chapel last night to the team. He talked about, through perseverance builds character, character builds hope. And, I think there was a lot of hope and belief within the locker room this year. We battled through some difficult injuries. We battled through some difficult times as a team. Not enough on the end of the latitude, but right there were our seniors again to step up and lead. So we're very thankful for them, and obviously very, very happy for them to win on Senior Day, and to go out and leave Ryan Field for one last time. Winning the Land of Lincoln, getting the hat back, and finishing strong here, obviously. In my opinion, making a very bold statement of a resume building win and a resume finish to the end for our postseason. We're a very hot football team right now. If you look at all of our games, we very easily could be undefeated. We've been winning every game. And I think whatever destination we get, we'll be very thankful and privileged to have that opportunity. But I think whoever makes the choice to bring the Wildcats and the Wildcat Nation down to their home are going to get a very hungry football team. They're going to get a very, very focused football team that understands what this kind of opportunity means for us, and gets a fan base that's going to come down and support the community and spend a lot of money. So that's my infomercial. That, how about some questions? How about some questions, please?
Go ahead.
Coach, you guys entered the game with 338 rushing yards, even when they knew, you put Tyrus Jones out there for 4 straight snaps, and you guys are still able to pick up yards. If you could talk about success in the rushing game and your offensive line all game long.
Yeah, I think today was kind of a microcosm of the entire year. We've been able to run the ball pretty efficiently all season long. We felt like going into the game that if we could establish a run game, we'd be able to have great success in the game. And great job by our defense creating turnovers there in the third quarter, giving us a short field, and then our offensive line really, I think, controlling the line of scrimmage. And when you control the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to win a lot of football games.
It's not to go negative, but the start wasn't very good with your defense. Was that surprising to you? Did you talk to those guys and get them?
Yeah, I think that as a team, we knew that we'd get a great shot out of them. Illini early, and obviously it's been a long year for them. But you knew in a rivalry game you'd get a great shot. We didn't execute very well. You look at the way we tackled early was pathetic, and gave them some opportunities to make some plays. But Nathan's an outstanding quarterback. They've got weapons across the board. He made some plays here early. But we talked at halftime. We felt like that was the worst half of football that we've played in a month, and that the only way it's going to get fixed is if we go out there and do something about it. So to get very positive, Teddy, I think that our team went out there in the second half and dominated the way that we should have dominated from the start.
You talked about this being a resume-building win at the end there. With you going for it on 4th down a bunch at the end, and it being a rivalry game and getting the score up there, is that part of the reason you chose? Well,
I went for it on 4th down because of where we were located. We're in the plus 30 territory with the wind. I'm not going to kick the ball there. That's why I went for it on 4th down. And then at the end of the game in the 4th quarter, I'm going for it on 4th down just to run the clock out, not to score any more points. So that's what I'm going for. If I wanted to rub it in, I'd throw the football every down. And that's just not what we do around here. So you run the ball on 4th down to keep the drive alive. It's kind of like we did in Nebraska last year. Take 9 minutes off the clock and finish the game with our offense on the field. And we were able to get off. We try to get everybody in. I don't think we accomplished that. It drives me crazy at the end of games. We try to make sure that everybody plays in games like that. But that's a very, very good problem.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the special teams play? I think it kind of fell under the radar, but you guys had a couple of great returns. You had the field goals, you guys had a forced fumble on their return. If you could talk about the special teams play.
Yeah, we've had some guys that really needed to step up from losing guys like Colin, and we didn't have Trey today, and a couple other guys that have been pretty influential in our kicking game. And see guys like C.J. Bryant, a big tackle. I think he caused the fumble, and then Cam recovered the fumble, after a couple of weeks ago, scoring a big touchdown. Seeing a lot of young games out there making a lot of plays. Jeff Budzine, how he's not a finalist for the Grozo Award makes me scratch my head. I have no idea I'm done. I'm getting off that voting. I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, he's missed 1 field goal, and it was from 50 couple. He should be a finalist for that award. He's had a terrific year all season long. I don't believe we punted the ball, did we? So I'm a big fan of that. That's a pretty good deal. And we knew with the win today that the punting game would be a little tough to kind of get some things started. But I thought our kickoff return team finally got some things going.
Pat, can you talk about the significance of tying Cappy's record of 49, or is this just a new Northwestern over the last 15 years or so?
Yeah, I don't think you ever take things like that for granted. And I feel very privileged to have the role that I do, and the great opportunity to help our young men develop and grow. And this class leaves as the all-time winningest senior class, and a lot of those wins happened while they've been here in our locker room, but there's been some other classes that have been here before them that have helped build this. By no way, shape, or form are we where we want to be. Our expectations are to be the #1 graduation rate in the country, win Big Ten championships, and compete for a national championship. And we're not quite there yet, and that's what we're building and working towards. And so those are the things that drive me, and now we have an opportunity to be a champion. Wherever the bowl destination is, we do have a chance to be a champion, and we're focused on that here as we move forward. But I think there's a fact that needs to be discussed, and that's number 118. Today was Jerry Brown's 118th win as a Wildcat assistant coach. So I'll start talking about wins about myself when I get to 118 or hopefully 119 after our next win with Jerry. So that's what it's all about. Men like Jerry that have led and developed so many of our great, and so many of our former players in the locker room. I see somebody like Sheriff McManus and Justin Vaughn, a couple of guys that were developed and led by Jerry. There's no better developer of young men in the world than Jerry Brown. And be a part of 118 wins, and for me to have the privilege of being on the sideline and coaching staff with him for 49 of them is a privilege for me. So very thankful for Jerry's leadership. We gave him the game ball after the
You talk a lot all season about how this is a young team, but obviously today you mentioned you got a lot of younger players and a lot of players that hadn't seen a lot of the field so far this season, and they continue kind of that dominance. Can you kind of talk about how the backups were able to kind of come in and just kind of keep you guys going?
Yeah, again, I thought it all starts up front with the offensive line. I thought those guys did a really good job. Maybe one first down earlier, I should have taken the varsity out, the starters out, but we wanted to get one more first down. I thought we might have to throw it and just kind of grind the clock out. So I thought those guys played well.
At the beginning of the season, you weren't sure how the running back situation was going to fall out. You had some depth there. You talked about wanting kind of to have a bell cow. What Vendrick did today, what he's kind of done all season. Can you just talk about how that position came together and what kind of impact you made?
Yeah, I think today was Vendrick's 800-yard game, and I just think it speaks volumes to his toughness, first of all, his change in attitude in the offseason, the way that he developed, got in with Jay Hooten and Al Johnson and our entire football performance staff, and the way he dedicated himself this summer. I mean, he's a special football player, and obviously very thankful for the way that he's played this year. They'll give the credit to the offensive line, that, but he's been terrific. I mean, the only disappointment that I have in the running backs is the way that Bo Cisic was born. Matt McPherson wanted to make sure that didn't come out in his evaluation postseason for the running backs, the lack of ball security. So.
Coach, I'm sure I won't be the only one to ask you this in the next month or so, but given the history here with bowl games, is it fair to say that a bowl victory means a little bit more for Northwestern at this point than other programs?
Well, I can't speak for any of the programs, but I know that 9 wins is a great year. You have 9 wins, and you look at kind of now. I've had 20 minutes to reflect, so I'm not going to get all emotional on you here. But 9 wins is a great year. 10 is special. And to be a bowl champion could be a great exclamation point. It's kind of the only lingering negative in our program that you guys just love to talk about. So. The only thing I can do to ask you guys to not talk about it anymore is to win. And that's obviously our challenge here as we move forward. And it'll be talked about way too much. I mean, I don't know. I've been a part of 4 of them now as a head coach, and all 4 of them, we've been in every one of them. They've been incredibly entertaining. They've been street fights. I mean, we've played in 4 really difficult, challenging games that we've had a chance to win all of them, and we just haven't made the plays that winners make. And for our seniors, but for our program, this is a big football game for us coming up. I mean, this is a big, big game, and we'll prepare that way. We'll prepare that way, and our guys will be excited to play.
Coach, you mentioned Jerry Brownsworth. If you could talk a little more, I mean, such a young secondary this season, and obviously the way they've improved in forcing turnovers. You had a sophomore and also a redshirt freshman getting picks today. If you could talk about just the work Jerry's done, particularly this year, developing these guys quickly, ready to excel as sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry's done a terrific job for his entire career, and to see the way that, number one, I think the entire defensive staff, we knew, kind of how we look at everything, players, formations, plays. We knew the strengths of some of our guys, and in other areas that we knew there were some areas that we needed to improve. And we set that course in the offseason. I thought the guys did a great job. Number one, letting us coach them. And then number two, when you added kind of depth in some recruiting classes now, we've had competition. And we talked the first month and a half of the season. You guys kept asking me who our starting DBs are, and I told you I'm not ready to name any of them yet. I'm still not. I still think we're a work in progress there, but through that competition, we're improving. And now we've got a month worth of competition to get ready for our upcoming opponent. We'll enjoy tonight. We'll have the seniors and their families over to my house and enjoy that, and enjoy today, and look back a little bit quickly in the season. But then tomorrow we hit the road recruiting. So it starts kind of that second season for us, and then we'll get back to practicing next week, next weekend, I should say, and we'll find out a week from tomorrow who we're going to play and where we're going to go. So it's important we finish up academically. We get finals coming up here in a couple of weeks, and I challenge the guys. I said it's one thing to have a great season on the field, but I challenge them. Let's go have the best quarter that we've ever had academically. We're in a position to do that based on the interim reports that I've got.
Fitz looked like Kane took the last snap and then held the ball up. That was, I assume, by design.
Well, we put all the seniors in on the last play, and we don't have a senior quarterback, so we put the starting quarterback back in. So it was by design to put all the seniors on offense back in the game.
Coach, you mentioned a progression of how you get the 9 wins. You go on to the bowl games. You go on to greater glory, shall we say? And you have a young team. Do you feel like this team can do this? And get to that national championship?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I believe so. I mean, we're a tip ball away. We're a fourth quarter away, and we're another fourth quarter away from being in the conversation. So absolutely. Now talk is cheap. It's all about attitude and how you're willing to invest. And our first opportunity to be a champion is this weekend, or this upcoming bowl game in a few weeks. So that'll be the death of this year's team and the birth of next year's team. It'll happen simultaneously. And I'm very thankful for our seniors and what they've done and what they've accomplished. But we talked about putting an exclamation point on their careers, and we've kind of put the first line down. Now we got to put we got to dot that at the exclamation point. We're going to play a great team. You guys aren't going to give us a chance, and we're kind of cool with that. But it's just the way it goes. We're going to play it on the road. We're playing, I assume, in Florida somewhere. We're playing an SEC team in their backyard. We'll be underdogs by like 75 points. Nothing's new in bowl season for us. So, we don't go play a MAC team. We don't play Conference USA teams. That's no disrespect to those teams. We play the best of the best, and that's what we've played in the past, and we've gone toe-to-toe with them. And it's going to take our best preparation, or we get the privilege to play, and I promise you this, our guys will be fired up for it. They'll be excited for it. And that's the great thing about being a Big Ten football player. You get to go play the best of the best in bowl season. And we'll be very thankful for the privilege and the opportunity that we get.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving and travel safe. Go Kids.